It's Friday, March 8th, 2013, and let's talk about what happened this week at xda-developers.com. Two of the main stories to cover today actually involve Sony again. First up, in what seems to be an unprecedented move, Sony has taken a leap in a drastically different direction, in such a way that they released a build of Boot2Gecko to developers for the Sony Xperia E. If you're not familiar with Boot2Gecko, I did a quick video about it at CES this year. I'll make sure to include a link to that down in the video description so you can just sort of see how it looks and how it feels and get some information from one of the Boot2Gecko developers. But essentially, it's Mozilla's attempt at having a mobile OS that is entirely web-centric. Now, like I said, this is a very early version. This is a preview build, alpha build, whatever you want to call it. So it's not really intended to be your daily driver. However, with some work from developers in the community and with some work from the Sony developers, I'm sure that it could be grown into something that is much more than usable, and it should be able to be ported to other Xperia devices and possibly non-Xperia devices, and non-Sony devices, if I didn't make that clear. So if you have the Xperia E, or if you're a developer that's interested in this, you may want to take a look at it, see if it's a base that you want to start building off of, or if just something you want to tweak with. Additionally, another article came out this week talking about a useful set of mods for different Xperia-based devices. These mod packs were put together by XDA-recognized contributor Pandemic, and at least one of the sets of mod packs is called ST Octane Settings. And just to sort of read off what they do, it says that they've got Jelly Bean switches, a quick panel, on-screen buttons, as well as settings to turn them on and off, CPU control, and location-based Wi-Fi. So definitely a useful list of things to have. And the reason this made news is because in the past few weeks he's released it for more devices, specifically the Xperia P, U, Go, and Sola. But he's also got them available under maybe different names or something for the Xperia S, Ion, Arc S, and Neo. Lots and lots of things to read there. So if you have one of these devices that I've listed and any of those mods sounded interesting to you, you may want to go take a look at the forum threads associated with them. You can find them all from the portal post. Essentially, it just involves flashing them from Clockwork Mod, and I think the ones for the first ones that I listed off have to have an app called Small Apps installed before you can actually flash it. But like I said, if this sounds like something you'd be interested in, do make sure to read through the forum thread for all of the details, just to see if there's anything, caveats, or whatever. You know the drill. And now moving on to the big news, and actually the last story I'd like to talk about. We mentioned several times in the past the petition to try to get the White House to respond about unlocking cell phones being illegal. As I mentioned before, they hit 114,000 people signing it before it closed, and not surprisingly, as promised, the White House did respond. And the response from the White House was actually a good one. The way that they put it, they think that you should be able to unlock your device provided that it is paid for, provided that you're out of your contract, or that you've finished paying off the device, or that you have a prepaid device that you have paid the entire full amount for. Which I think kind of still goes against what a lot of people are wanting. What I think a lot of people are looking for is, I buy a device from the store, I'm on a 2-year contract, but I'm still very happy with my old phone, so I should be able to unlock the new one and do what I want to with it, right? Technically and legally, no, and the current White House administration seems to agree with that. But like I said, they do think that after you've paid it off, you should be able to unlock it of your own accord, meaning that you shouldn't have to have your carrier's permission to unlock it after you've fulfilled contract requirements or after you've paid off whatever device you got. And that makes a whole lot of sense. Now, what's this going to do for us? Nothing. From what I understand, this has gone forward to the Library of Congress, and the response was essentially nothing again. And really, it doesn't address any of the points that were put forth to them. But what they did say in response was that in order to put these exceptions back in place that would make unlocking legal, you have to have members of the public at the administration hearings, at the lawmaking hearings, to say, we want this. And apparently during these lawmaking sessions, the members of the public that were there requested to allow circumvention of technological protection measures controlling access to copyrighted software on cell phones. Which, phrasing it that way, yeah, it's going to get turned down. That actually makes me wonder if the members of the public were members of the public at all, or whether they were members of lobbying groups, or people who were actually trying to keep these things locked down. One way or another, at least the White House did respond to this. At least we do have some motion, even though there's no real legal motion happening at this point. Things might change in the upcoming weeks, months, years, yeah. But we'll have to just sort of wait and see what happens. But for more information on that and the other stories that I talked about, do make sure to check out the links down in the video description, the xda-developers.com website. And there were 3 other videos released here on XDA Developer TV this week. The first one was done by Steve, and it is a review of a Windows Phone app called Cloud Music. Then Adam Outler put out a video talking about the Raspberry Pi and the root all-the-things box that he demonstrated at the Big Android Barbecue. And TK wrapped up the week with his Android app review talking all about Kush's new backup solution, Carbon. So if you haven't seen any any of those videos, do make sure to check those out as well. But that's about all from me for today. As always, if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe to receive our content as soon as it becomes available. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again on Monday.